I went in one day, thought I was gonna work. I didn't end up working because I was already out of the system. They sent me home, came back, just unpacked my entire locker and got up out of there. Hello. Welcome to and welcome back to my channel. I'm Yasherica, and today's video is going to be about my farewell story of leaving the Home Depot. Now, I just wanted to, let me just say, this month, right? For the month of August for 2023, I've been doing a specific theme for my content this month, and it's all been on my Home Depot journey, okay? So this month is Active August, and the theme is getting to the bag. And so every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, I post a new video based on being a cashier for the Home Depot. And so I have come to work with me videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So those videos are just specifically of me working. You get to see me work. And then on Saturdays, I post videos like this where I'm just talking about my experience there and, things like that. It's just more conversations, talking videos. So yes, so that's what I have going on. And so this is going to be a Saturday video just for me to kind of tell my story. And let me just say that it's not a simple story, okay? It was a little complicated. So yeah, let's get into it, right? So before I get into that, like I said, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I have videos all involving my Home Depot process. And so if you want to see the rest of my videos like that, I will have a link below, and it will link you to my playlist, and it's going to be like a worker series. That's the name of it. So if you click that one, it will take you to all my Home Depot videos, okay? So my farewell story, right? So let's start with the reason. So the reason I had to leave was because I was moving to a new area, different city, and it's a little complicated. Now, I am leaving overall. A lot of people wanted me to transfer, but I didn't want to do that because I have other things going on, other things that I want to do and try out. I don't want to be a cashier no more, that's for sure. So I didn't transfer for that reason. That's number one. Number two, it was very complicated on my moving process because I didn't 100% know where I was going as of yet. There was like 2 different places, and yeah, so I didn't know for sure where I was going at that time. So it was like, I don't even know which one I'm transferring to if I was going to transfer, So it was just very, 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 very complicated process. So yeah, so I didn't want to transfer. So once it started getting closer to the moving process, what I did, I was out of town. So I wasn't near my job to be able to, you know, tell whoever I needed to tell at my job, which I eventually did at a later time. But what I did at first was I told HR. I called the HR department for Home Depot and I told them about it, and they did a change of address for me. And then I emailed them my resignation letter. So yeah, I emailed my resignation letter, and you know, they sent me like it was like a case file, a case number, and they told me, you know, they would contact me if they needed anything else. So I'm like, all right, cool. So that was, I believe, the 6th of June, so June 6th, and I put my last day to be June 30th. Okay, so boom, there you go. So I did that, and then what they do is like, there's an app, Workforce. There's an app for the Home Depot for you to go on and look at your schedule, right? And they schedule, you know, like weeks in advance. So I'm looking at my schedule. Like I said, I told them this on the 6th, and you know, at that time, my schedule wasn't made yet for that week. And so I was like, okay, you know, I feel like I let them know in a reasonable amount of time. So I'm like, all right, they got it, they got the message, whatever. And then I noticed that they had me scheduled for after June 30th. So I'm like, you know, so when I saw that, I was like, okay, so it didn't go through. They didn't notify my location, you know, my store, whoever was making the schedules. They didn't notify that person. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to do another one. But I did wait a while because we did not move as quickly as expected in the beginning. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just go till, I don't even remember, like, because I want to say they had me originally like until like the 7th, I want to say like the 17th of July, or maybe I don't even remember, but it was like mid July. I'm sorry, God, but yeah, they had me a few weeks into July, so I did, or maybe it was the 27th. I think it was like the 27th or something like that. But they had me into July, and so I was like, you know what, I'll just do another one. I don't remember exactly the last date I put on the second resignation letter, but you know, I know I just went ahead and went with it. Like I went with whatever the last day they had me for. That's what I went with. I said, you know what, okay, I'll just work until that day and just call it a day, right? So I went in, I did that, and I noticed that they started changing my schedules. So whatever that last week that I saw, they took that off my schedule, and I was like, now sometimes when they do that, they will like switch it around. So sometimes they They may switch your hours. They may give you, more time this day and then, take a day off this day or something like that. Sometimes they do rearrange your schedule. So I thought they were just going to rearrange my schedule, but they never put it back on. And so I'm like, okay, so that's 1 week that I don't have to come. I guess I'm not coming that week. And then, so yeah, so I'm thinking, all right, I'm gonna come in July and do all the rest of the shifts, right? These shifts. So, like I said June 30th the first time, right? In the first resignation letter, I said June 30th. And so one of those days, I believe it was Saturday. It was Saturday. I don't even know if I worked June 30th. I know I did the 29th, but I'm not sure if I worked the 30th. I'm not sure. I don't even know. I think I did. I honestly don't fully remember. But I went in on the 1st, July 1st, right? And when I get there, we have like the app that you check your schedule. You have a barcode, and you scan it under the the little machine that they have, and that clocks you in. And it just kept doing this, like sound, like how it is, like you get the wrong answer or something like that. It was making that type of noise, and I was like, what? I'm like, well, am I scheduled? I had to recheck. I'm like, well, I thought I'm scheduled to work today. Am I too early? Am I late? So I'm checking. I'm like, okay. So that wasn't working. So another way you can clock in is you do have like a certain PIN number. I believe it's like 8 or 9 digits or something like that. So I had my PIN number and I put that in, and no, was not working, was not clocking me in. Yeah, I was in the break room for 10 minutes, maybe a good 10-15 minutes trying to figure out how to clock myself in. And finally I was like, you know what, okay, I'm done. I'm not fighting with this, right? So I go to the front, where the registers are. I go and I look and I try to figure out, where I'm supposed to be or whatever. And, so yeah, I was supposed to be on self-checkout that night, I believe. And so I go to the register because we have to print out these barcodes that we can use to, help customers over there. If they scan two or something and I need to take one off, we have to have these barcodes so that the computer knows that it's us getting in to do whatever we gotta do. So I'm trying to, log in and everything, and nothing is working. So we have usernames and passwords and stuff that we use for the registers, to get into the register, and also print those barcodes. And it wasn't working. Nothing was working. So the head cashier comes over. I'm letting her know what's wrong, what's going on, and I'm doing it over and over and over again. And finally, she lets one of the managers know, and we're trying to figure it out. And he was trying to get me to log in on one of the computers, and it just was not doing it. And so finally, we get in his office, and he logs into my account, and it was it was basically saying that I was no longer an employee. And I was like, they were trying to get in contact with different people, because there's more than one store manager. So he was trying to call one of the other store managers. He was trying to call HR, but it was Saturday. It's almost Saturday night. It was maybe around 5-6 o'clock. So there's nobody really there, nobody really open. So they couldn't get in contact with anybody. Me, I couldn't clock in, number one, and I couldn't log into the register. So they sent me home, right? And they were just saying, you know, because I couldn't clock in and everything. Well, the clock in wasn't really that big of a deal. Like, they could have changed that, but, you know, I couldn't log into the register. So if I can't get into the register, I can't do my job. I can't count money. I can't, you know, I couldn't do anything. So they had to send me home, and they were like, you know, yeah, at that point, I thought I had, you know, like 2 more weeks, because that's what they had scheduled on the app. And so they were saying, like, they were gonna try and see. I wasn't going to work Sunday, so my next shift was going to be Monday. And so they told me to come back in and, you know, just see, you know, they would see if they could get me back in the system or whatever, you know, reverse it or whatever. And so Monday came, and I went in, and first thing I did, I went to the front. I went to the front of the store where the registers are. They also keep a schedule up there for cashiers. So I went on there, I looked on there, and it didn't have my name on it. I wasn't scheduled that day. But again, I was scheduled on the app, so that's why I didn't quite know for sure, you know. So you know, I checked the schedule, and it didn't have me on there. So after that, I was like, yeah, they didn't get me back in the system. So I went straight to the back, went in my locker room, and, you know, I had this bag, like a bigger purse, and, you know, I just cleaned my entire locker. Like, I just took everything, you know, took my little name sticker off of it and everything, my apron and everything that was in my locker went in my bag. And I went to another side of the store, a different register where there is another type of schedule, and I looked on there, you know, because it usually has the whole week on that one. So I'm going through, you know, all of the weeks, the different days of the week, and seeing, you know, trying to match it, trying to see, you know, if what they had on my schedule on the app wasn't matching theirs, and what they had on theirs, I was no longer there for the rest of the week. Like, they did not have my name on there at all. And so at that point, I was like, yeah, they didn't put me back in. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's cool. So after that, I looked at that, and I went out the door, and that was it. And so, yeah, you know, yeah. But, you know, what I did, like, when I was, like, in the office and they were trying to figure everything out, it was like, it did kind of hit me. I was like, you know, they did send me some emails, like, either on the 30th or the 29th. They did send emails, and they said something. Let me see if I can pull it up, but it was like, my case, like, I had, like, that case file number. They told me my case was closed. And I was thinking, you know, okay, now they finally got it. I thought they were talking about the second resignation letter I put in. I didn't know they were doing the first. And then, so originally, because there is a HR lady who was there at my job. You know, she's there certain days of the week, but the one that I talked to was a different one. And I guess they weren't on the same page. They didn't know, you know, the one that worked in my store did not know about the letter that I sent to the other HR people. So, you know, but they ended up going with the first one, and, you know, locking me out and letting me go on the 30th like I originally planned. You know, so yeah, they sent They sent an email that said case closed, and then on the 1st, they sent me a link to change my password that morning. You know, so all of that stuff was going on, and the people at my location didn't know anything about it. So that's why I was still being scheduled and all of that stuff. But you know, the HR people that I talked to, they knew about it. They had all that stuff on file, but my store didn't know. So meanwhile, I didn't know. So yeah, I thought I was gonna have more time, but I didn't, which it didn't make much of a big deal to me. Like, I wasn't really concerned money-wise, like financially. I was like, either way I was cool, but I knew I had to get out of there because moving can be a stressful process. And I'm like, I don't want to be working and doing that too, because I'm telling you, like, every day that I was coming home, it was something different. It was something new, like, in terms of how we were moving and everything. It just felt like I wasn't moving as fast as them because of my hours and everything, and I would just be so tired when I get home, and I didn't have much time to pack, or like, it'll be late, and so it's like everybody is about to go to bed, and it's like I don't want to be up with the tape. If you know how that tape sound is so loud and everything, packet boxes sound like and then on my days off, I'm tired too, because I'm like, I've been working all week, and it was just getting harder and harder. So I'm like, I gotta get out of here so I can do whatever else I need to do, So yeah, so that's how it went, you guys. I went in one day, thought I was gonna work. I didn't end up working because I was already out of the system. They sent me home, came back, just unpacked my entire locker and got up out of there. That's pretty much how it went, you guys. So yeah, so I am no longer a employee or a Home Depot cashier. I am no longer one of their associates, but I'll tell you, I'm glad that I was, because of my career field, because of how I do and what I do with real estate. I was glad to be a part of it, but now that I'm out, I do have these memories to look upon, the stories that I tell and the videos that I have of me working. I still have those. But that's my story. That's my farewell story, you guys. That is my story. But like I said, I have some other videos. This one isn't the last one. I have some other ones. After this one post, I believe I have 3 more videos that will post. But right now I have a realistic day as a Home Depot cashier. That's one of my videos. I have a 6 a.m. morning shift as a Home Depot cashier. That one was an 8-hour shift. You can see that one. I talk about what to expect as a Home Depot cashier. It's the 3rd episode. 4th one is watch me interact with customers at work. And so yeah, on that one you can actually, I don't have music in that one, so you can actually hear what I'm saying and what customers are saying to me, because you know we do have conversation. Like some people, you know, they be so glad to see people, you know, instead of going to the self-checkout. Sometimes they like to come in and talk to you guys. So yeah, I have a video like that. Being an outdoor garden cashier for the Home Depot, so that one I was working outside. And then I have types of customers that shop the Home Depot. That's an interesting one as well. And then there's a working the weekend shift as a Home Depot cashier. So that's episode 7. So that's what I have. Those are what I have out right now, but I have some other ones getting ready to load as well. That's gonna come out before this video. This is gonna be a Saturday one. So I have about 2 more that's gonna come out before this one. Let me see, closing shift on a Saturday night. Oh my gosh, that one was so fun. It was so boring that night, you guys. Like seriously, it was so boring. Like it was not that much customers because it's Saturday night, you know, people were out. So I'm just in there cleaning and singing and doing all kind of crazy stuff, y'all. So there's that one. That's what there's a watch me work as a cashier for the Home Depot. I have that episode coming out. And then this one's gonna come out, and then there's gonna be a vlogging my day as a Home Depot cashier, and then it's gonna be come to work with me as a cashier for the Home Depot, and then I'm gonna tell the shorter version of when I got sent home from work. So part of this story will be in that video as well. It's actually that actual day, because I thought, you know, like I said, I thought I was gonna be able to go in. I thought I was gonna film another video of me working, and I got sent home. So yes, that one, there's another part to this story in that video as well. And that will wrap it up. That will be it for this month. So I believe altogether there will be 14 episodes altogether. So like I said, the link will be down in the description for you to see the whole playlist, so you can catch all of the videos, everything relating to the Home Depot and, you know, my life working the 9 to 5. Okay, so if you like videos like those, I will have the link below in the description for you to watch the whole playlist. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching my story time.